Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on maintaining up-to-date qualifications and proper documentation to enable efficiency and compliance. I'm Amy Cotton, and I'm a Global Marketing Development Manager from Thermo Fisher Scientific, and I'll be your moderator for today's event. We really encourage you to participate by submitting any questions you may have during the presentation. Super simple. You can do that right in that Ask a Question box and just click send. We'll answer as many questions as we can during the time of the webinar, and we'll answer them at the end. Also, if you experience any technical difficulties or have any questions, you can utilize the Q&A box and we'll assist you directly. Finally, as a reminder, this presentation is educational and offers free continuing education credits. So click on that continuing education credits image at the bottom of your screen and follow the process to obtain your credits. I'd like to now welcome our speaker, Thermo Fisher's Field Service Engineer, Danielle Wells. I'll hand it off to you.
Thank you, Amy. Hi, guys. My name's Danielle. Welcome to our Maintain Your Up-to-Date Qualifications series. Going forward, I'll just be going off camera so that we can focus on our slides, but I'll be hopping back on for our Q&A later on. Maintaining up-to-date qualifications and proper documentation to enable efficiency and compliance. During this webinar, our learning objectives will be 1, understanding why qualifications are important. 2, knowing what qualifications provide, how they are organized, and when they are required. 3, learning about how qualifications help mitigate risk. And 4, understanding why proper documentation is important. What is a qualification? Across industries, from aircraft to silicone chip production to commercial food processing and shipping, manufacturers must verify and document that their instruments are installed, operating, and performing within design specifications to comply with global and local regulations. An instrument qualification is a series of procedures performed by a trained and certified field service engineer, FSE, that establishes documented formal evidence to provide assurance that the instrument is performing within manufacturer design specifications. Where do qualifications come from? In the United States, equipment qualifications are regulated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. 21 CFR 820.70 Production and Process Controls tells us each manufacturer shall ensure that equipment used in manufacturing process meets specified requirements, establish and maintain schedules for the adjustment, cleaning, and other maintenance of equipment, conduct periodic inspections in accordance with established procedures to ensure adherence to applicable equipment maintenance schedules, and ensure that any limitations or allowable tolerances are visible, posted near equipment requiring adjustments, or are available to personnel performing these adjustments. When are qualifications recommended? They are recommended upon installation or relocation of the instrument, after any critical or significant repair, when the service requires secondary testing to prove the performance of the subsystem or the full instrument system, or affects the manner in which the data would be generated from the system, upon annual planned maintenance per manufacturer, upon pre-planned maintenance per customer quality systems, after a change to the instrument configuration, and lastly, prior to a change in laboratory use. What comprises an instrument qualification? First, we start with an IQ. IQs are installation qualifications. Next, you will move to an operational qualification. From there, you will branch from performance qualification to instrument performance verification. Let's start with installation qualification. This verifies that the instrument and accessories match the order invoice and shipping manifest. We also verify that the customer site meets the requirements for instrument installation. Some more steps that we take is verifying configuration of an instrument that is being installed. And we also verify the criteria for a successful hardware installation. The next step would be your operational qualification. During this, we'll perform functional subsystem diagnostics. This also helps to identify any computer or software components, performs relevant subsystem level tests, performs relevant subsystem level calibrations, and ensures that all critical subsystems are performing within the manufacturer's specifications. Next, we would lead to the performance qualification and instrument performance verification. During this, we're going to ensure that the system is performing within manufacturer specification. This provides a standard system level run to assess performance of all subsystems working together. Why is it important to maintain timely qualifications? Maintaining up-to-date qualifications can help mitigate risk to results. This also helps to maintain sample integrity, safeguarding your manufacturing processes and protect product and end users. Why is a proper documentation of a qualification important? Qualification documents provide evidence to an auditor for review so that the auditor can be assured equipment is well maintained. Documentation is an optimal way to prove that the equipment qualification was performed properly. Insufficient documentation is frequently cited in inspectional observations and warning letters from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. How does a qualification compare with other components of a service plan? First, your first component will be your field service report. This is a document that the service repair or any other services have been performed. This goes to all customers and is a simple format that is usually given by the FSC upon closing the report. Next, our planned maintenance. Planned maintenance performs recommended design maintenance for sustained performance. All customers are usually given a document after a planned maintenance service. Our next step is verification performance. This performs ad hoc testing to subsystem and or full system with standard application. Normally, there's no maintenance performed with this. This is something that is also available to all customers. Lastly, we're going to talk about qualifications. This verifies and documents the performance of the instrument system to the manufacturer's design specifications. This is given to customers working within any regulated or validated environment who require documented evidence to perform of the performance of the instrument. Where are qualifications applicable and what regulations guide their implementation? GXP, which is guided by 21 CFR Part 58, good laboratory practice for non-clinical labs, 21 CFR Part 210 and 211, good manufacturing practice for human drugs, 21 CFR Part 312, good clinical practice for investigational new drug application, 21 CFR Part 820, quality system requirements, 21 CFR Part 11, electronic records and signatures, ISO 9001, ISO 13485, ISO 14971. Along the clinical lines, clinical and testing, we look for 21 CFR Part 820, quality system requirements on medical devices, 21 CFR Part 11, electronic records and signatures, clinical laboratory improvement amendas, also known as CLIA, and 42 CFR Part 493, CAP lab accreditation, in vitro regulation, ISO 1725, ISO 15189, Clinical Laboratory Standards Institute, CLSI guidelines. This applies to markets for the government and law enforcement agencies, requirements pertaining to evidence handling, food and environmental testing, human identification and forensics, 21 CFR Part 58, GLP for non-clinical labs, and finally, ISO 17025. Additional benefits of qualification. Training in instrument use and maintenance is provided by the FSC as a component of qualifications, making it beneficial for new hires in terms of basic usage and upkeep. Addressing any issues identified during the qualification process is crucial, and we have the capability to promptly help you resolve such issues, enabling maximum instrument uptime. Thank you for joining me for this qualification series. We'd like to open this up for Q&A at this time.
All right. Thank you so much, Danielle. We have a few questions that came in on the chat. And like I said, anything that we don't get to today, we will reach out directly to answer your questions. So please keep them coming. First question for you, Danielle. How often should my system be qualified?
That's a great question. Your system qualifications vary by each different system. So an example, for a 7500 Fast DX, we expect that this instrument has a qualification done every 6 months. On the Verse, you have a Quant Studio DX, which is expected to be qualified only once a year. So please get with your FSC, your local engineer, and talk to them about the requirements for your system's qualification.
Perfect. Thank you. Next question here. Can you go into more details about the specific services that are delivered in a qualification, as well as the bigger difference between a qualification and a PM, a planned maintenance?
Of course. So initially, planned maintenance is just, we're going to come in and we're going to do our manufacturer required specifications to make sure that your instrument is being maintained, checking your lamp life. These are just a few examples on some of our product lines. Qualification means that we're going to make sure that that instrument is hitting performance verification and provide the customer with documents stating so. I believe that qualifications are added value and that your engineer who's gone to training for this is going to take the time to make sure that your instrument is hitting that performance verification and give you the proper documentation you may need in the event of any kind of inspection or regulatory agency that may need to see that. So the biggest takeaway to take away from a qualification is you are going to get that your instrument is doing what it's supposed to do and the documentation to say that.
All right, awesome. Well, we are coming up to time here. So questions we did not have time for today, we will go ahead and address offline. We will email you directly. So please, like I said, if you have any last questions, put them in the chat. Danielle, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it. We learned a lot about the qualification process. So if you have any questions, like I said, reach out to us. If not, this webcast will also be available on demand. So LabRoots will alert you via email when it's available. And just as a reminder, the Guardians of Your Science Ask the Expert webinar series is ongoing. So please check in for some new topics, and we'll see you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.